Yo, it is your boy B Jones. Welcome to another episode of the Red Cup Talk, where I bring my way, my opinion, how I'm going to say it, how I'm going to say it about some of y'all favorite reality shows and some of your favorite scripted shows. But before we get into all that, what's in y'all Red Cups tonight? So tonight I got a little bit of tequila. I got 2 juices mixed in it, so it's pretty good. Publix had a 2 for $4 juice sale, the Florida Natural Juice sale. It's pretty good. I got a 0 sugar kind, and I got like a passion fruit kind. It's like a 0 sugar strawberry something, and a passion fruit kind. I mixed both of them. It's real good. It's very good. But let's get into this episode of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. We got a new episode of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. The crew has arrived to Canada. We knew last episode we knew they was gonna plan a trip to Canada or whatever. So the crew has arrived to Canada. What is Chicana? Why Chicana ain't there? So they wanted Chicana to be on Spice all this time, and y'all ain't got Chicana at Canada. Why she ain't there? Did she have other obligations she had to fulfill, or you just didn't invite her there because y'all had her in Bahamas and y'all had her under Spice wing all this time, even though Chicana don't even have to be on the Spice wing. Y'all still had her on the Spice wing, like she had to be Spice wing man. I don't know. So why she's not in Canada, I don't know. But will this be a good trip? Or would this be a part 2 of the Bahamas? We already know the Bahamas went haywire. Cardi say Spice put her hands on it and all that. So are they actually going to heal on this trip? Or is it going to be more drama on this trip versus being, okay, we're going to heal, we're going to get through it. Or we're going to have drama like Bahamas. Because Bahamas was drama. The whole dinner table scene was a whole scene from the Why Did I Get Married scene when Mike was blasting out all their business and stuff like that. So that's what this was giving when they went to Bahamas. So will Canada be the same thing as the Bahamas? I hope not, because I feel like everybody should move on past these petty arguments, move on and be grown about the situation that they're going through, and just shoot the show and handle business. So it's 2 separate buses. So in one bus, I can't remember exactly who it was. I know it was Zell, Spice, Rashida, Kirk. I can't remember, was it Jessica? I think it was Jessica. That's who was in one bus, and it was a whole other bus too with like Bambi, Sierra, Rainy, Yandy, and whoever else was on that bus. So in one bus, they noticed Zell was by himself. So I think Amy was on that bus. I can't remember. No, Amy was on Sierra bus. So they noticed Zell by himself. So they was like, well, Zell was Santana, he was supposed to be here, whatever like that. So Zell's basically tell him, like, him and Santana still going through their differences. They had a big old argument before, which that was a big argument for them. I feel like it was a lot of hitting below the belt during that argument. So it's a lot they have to get through with that. They can be cool about it, or they can just keep going on with it and be like, okay, I don't want to deal with you. I don't feel like that they would try to put on for a show to keep a storyline going. I feel like Santana didn't want to go, and maybe production probably told Santana to come. They said, hey, can you come? And Santana probably didn't want to come because they don't want to put on this whole fake storyline, just say, oh, we cool, or we can get cool, and really they ain't gonna be able to be cool at this point because they really hit below the belt. Now in the other bus seemed really tense to me. So Randy go ahead and say, I know other people that y'all cool with or friends with are on the other bus. We at this trip, we trying to grow at this trip, we trying to heal at this trip. So whoever have differences, let's go ahead and talk our differences out and put our differences to the side. Of course, the 2 on the bus that have differences really is Bambi and Sierra. So Bambi and Sierra go ahead and talk and try to talk their situation through. So Sierra's whole argument is that Bambi didn't speak up for her when the whole Safari thing came out and stuff like that. Bambi say that her friendships and stuff that she go through, relationships and stuff like that, is not based on social media. So she can be there for you outside of social media, but she don't want to speak on it on social media. But was she there outside of social media? Did she call or text, say, hey, you know what I'm saying, I'm just checking up on you. I see this shit don't hit the fan, and I just want you to know I got your back. Did she say that, or did she say to herself? Because Bambi said that at the time that Ciara didn't, first she said she did know. First she said that she knew that she was going through a whole anxiety attack. Then on the bus, she asked her, well, did you know what I was going through? So did she know what you was going through, or did she not know what you was going through? I have been through anxiety attacks before. I haven't had one in a while, but after a few hours, you be okay. You know what I'm saying? So the next day, you might think about it, but you be okay after that. You go on about your business, and you try not to get into that mode again to get that anxiety attack again. So maybe you was thinking about that, but I feel like she could have spoke up and said something. Bambi could have said something in defense of Ciara, because really Ciara was on her own with that. So I really feel like she could have said something like, hey, yeah, she did tell me about it beforehand, and I told her not to tell Erica about it. And Ciara's argument also is that she's saying that if it was Erica and how Bambi always had Erica's side, she say Bambi don't have her side like that, like she have Erica's side. Bambi say, Ciara know who she is. She know what type of person she is. So she ain't finna sit up here and try to prove who she is, because she know who she is. But Ciara's like, I don't know who you is no more. Like, you're not the same person that I knew before, that I loved before, that I considered as my sister. You know what I'm saying? Things change, people change, stuff happen. So, but she just feel like that she just really wasn't there for her in that situation. I understand that. You gotta acknowledge her feelings. She gotta stand on her feelings. And Carly is still on the whole thing of Spice attacked her in Bahamas. She don't feel safe because Spice attacked her in Bahamas. She don't feel like nobody spoke up when Spice attacked her in Bahamas. How long she gonna hold on to that? How long are we going to sit up here and talk about what Spice did in Bahamas? Because VH1, they didn't even show that. Love and Hip Hop, they didn't even show when she attacked her. So we don't know what happened. We don't know if it was a push, a slap, a punch, a shove. We don't know what happened. She just said that Spice attacked her. I mean, people are speaking up too and saying, yeah, Spice did attack her, but what type of attack was it? Because it was not broadcast. I just feel like that our production team just not going to let that happen, and then they're not going to show what happened. You know what I'm saying? They showed Tokyo on Family Reunion when she fought Cardi and Spice and stuff. They showed that. So why wouldn't they show that at the time? So I'm really confused about that. I really am confused about that. Cardi says she's the type of person that don't have to get physical with her hands. She get physical with her words. But a lot of people ain't like that. A lot of people, if they argue for too long, they going to feel like, hey, why am I arguing this long? Let me just hit you and get this over with. So everybody don't want to argue. Everybody don't want to go back and forth. Some people just want to just hit you and go on about their business. That's just how they feel. That's what they do. Some people argue all day. So you just got to know who you dealing with. You better just pick and choose who you want to deal with if you don't want to get tapped in your mouth. Now, for a brief moment, I did see that Kirk was the only married male there. We know Zell there. Zell is there. So besides Zell, Kirk the only one there. We don't have Scrappy, Chaotic. You don't have none of these other guys on there. And we figured out that Mendeecees was supposed to come. He was actually had a booking in Toronto, Canada, but I guess with the promotion and all that, and then when you consider his record, they wasn't trying to let him enter in Canada, so he had to miss the trip. So now the crew is going to dinner. They just having their whole big dinner, and you know something gonna go on when they go to dinner or whatever like that. So Ciara, somehow the whole Ciara and Bambi conversation came back up. I just wish they'll go ahead and dead this conversation. I wish they'll move on from it, but I guess they have to go ahead and work through it. So that came up. And Ciara says that she felt like it was messy and it was petty that Jessica and Bambi came dressed alike. They really wasn't dressed alike. They both just had a fur on. I don't see where that, how does that come off messy or petty or stuff like that? Like, I mean, did you and Bambi used to dress alike when y'all was friends? Or What was it like? What made you just say like, hey, you know, y'all was being messy with them? Because I don't see where the mess came at with that. I just seen they both was cold and they just wanted some fur. They shopped and they got fur coats. I don't see nothing messy with that. So I don't really know what's going to happen with Bambi and Ciara, but I know they have both apologized. They both tried to move on. They both have had some type of conversation about this, which we done seen in previous episodes. And there still was no resolve. It was just like, okay, we say what we going to say and we done. And we just walk away. It's still no resolve. So they need to go ahead and get a resolve with this because we don't want to keep hearing the whole thing of Ciara and Bambi over and over again. If you're going to be friends, go ahead and be friends. Go ahead and heal or what y'all went through. If y'all don't want to be friends, don't be friends. You really don't have to be friends. Friends grow and friends move on from each other. But Ciara brought up the whole Bahamas situation when Spice and Bambi got into it. And Ciara told Spice, well, didn't I tell you that night that you was wrong? Spice changed the whole conversation. Spice said, we have to go to bed. We have to get up early in the morning. She just moved on from that. But before she could move on from that, Jessica wanted to say something to her. Jessica confronts Spice and say, like, basically Spice have been, like, basically a mean girl to her because Spice just wasn't, like, so welcoming and she just really did something to her. So Spice was like, well, you did something to me. Like, you treated me a certain type of way, too. So don't just say, I just treated you a certain type of way. But Spice just busts out and say, well, I don't really know you to treat you this way or to have some type of relationship with you. And Jessica looked shocked, but really, she probably don't know her. Because really, like Scrappy just said in a recent post he put, like, hey, we on this show together, but I don't know all y'all like that. I don't be around all y'all like that. Y'all ain't my friends. Y'all ain't my family. Y'all ain't none of that. Y'all just basically my castmates. Y'all who I work with. And that's how these reality shows play out. Ain't nothing authentic. When you think about it, when the Real Housewives of Atlanta first started, that was authentic because they knew each other. They knew each other and they had stuff going on for real. Season 1 of Love and Hip Hop was even more authentic. You know what I'm saying? Everybody didn't know each other, but they knew somewhat of each other. But that was a little more authentic. So a lot of times now, is they cast these people in these shows and they don't have no real relationships with these other people. So now they have to put on the front like they know these people and want to hang with these people. But at the end of the day, these people ain't going to hang with these people in real life. They're just doing it because they on this show. But despite all the drama that's going on, all this argument and trying to forgive and move on and all that, the crew did have a good time. The crew went out there dog sledding and snowmobile sledding, whatever that's called. But they went on there and they looked very cold. They look very, 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 very cold. But it looked fun. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't want to be on a dog sled because a dog, they'll go, they'll stop, they'll go, stop, they'll walk. No. Put me on a little snowmobile so I can just ride and keep going. That's what I want to do. But they look like they had a good bit of fun. I can't say that. Finally. But despite all that, they had fun. Despite all the drama, they had some fun, finally. So after the whole fun, the whole activity or whatever, they going back to their rooms, to their house or whatever. And Jessica's on the bus with Spice. So Spice feel like this is a good idea to go ahead and just like, let me go ahead and have a conversation with Spice, with Jessica. So they have a conversation or whatever, and like I said before, they both felt like they hurt each other. Each person, they got a sense of hurt from one another. So they try to talk through that and work through all that. So Spice tells Jessica, like, I know you hang around with Carly, and Carly probably tell you like certain stuff about me and stuff like that. She was like, but me and Carly been friends over a decade. For a decade. Then she says, she'll say whatever, we've known each other 5 years. So Spice, are you saying a decade equals 5 years? Because a decade does not equals 5 years. A decade equals 10 years. So you 5 years off. I don't know what you got mixed up with it, but a decade is 10 years, not 5. So you knew each other half of a decade if you want to say 5. But if you say decade, that's 10 years. But anyways, this episode, I give it a 5 out of 10, honestly. Because we was doing the same arguments over and over. It was the same dialogue. People trying to get through whatever they get through. The same arguments we've been going through all season. Like, we kind of tired of that. It's kind of redundant. So, I give this a 5 out of 10. I give it a 5 because they had fun. They had fun. They got on, did the activity, and that was good. You know, they got some conversation slightly through. So I give it a 5 for that. Because other than that, this episode probably was one of the worst ones of the season so far. I have to say. Not worse that it's so bad, but it was just like it was boring. It was like the same stuff over and over and over and over again. So I really didn't like this episode compared to the other episodes that have been going on. I guess because we didn't really see everybody. We seen just the ones who wanted the trip. So I guess they had to keep talking about the same thing over and over because they ain't have nothing else to talk about. Who knows? But go ahead and like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Make sure you follow me on all my social media at BJonesENT on Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram. And make sure you press that bell notification so you can be notified every time I drop. Kiss your boy, B Jones.